Let's go to a game that's a little more compelling and interesting on both sides of things. Newcastle and United both coming off a rather interesting midweek Champions League draw for Newcastle. A lot of drama around that late penalty. United drew at Galatasaray in rather shocking fashion, up 2 goals at 2 different times during the match. Andre Onana was guilty of a couple huge missteps, but here's United manager Erik Ten Hag backing his keeper.
If you analyze it well, then you see he's the second best goalkeeper in the Premier League, based on stats. So his expected preventing goals is the second best in the Premier League. So yeah, he's doing well, but yeah, also and he knows that in Champions League he makes some mistakes, but all over, if you see first 5 months, he's doing particularly well. You have seen how he is reacting on a bad performance like he did after Munich. He was in Burnley, he was outstanding. So he's a strong character, he's a personality, and he will deal with it.
All right, Onana's form in Champions League, shaky would be nice. I mean, basically punched the ball into the goal the other day to see one of those free kicks, and the other ones he just cheated and got caught. Ryan, I'll start with you here. United has won 5 of 6 in the Premier League, despite their form in other competitions. Is that assessment of where Onana is and the fact that that's his guy? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, as the resident stat nerd, I appreciate him using stats to make an argument. I just think he's doing it in the wrong way. Essentially, he's looking at, expected goals you can control for where every shot ended up on the goal frame and estimate where how often it would be saved versus how much would be scored. And you can kind of add it up and kind of see how many goals above average a keeper is saved. And Onana is tied for second with Alisson in that total. That doesn't make him the second best keeper in the league, though, because that, in order to make saves, you have to have your opponents taking shots. And I think he's facing a lot of shots because Man U, the defense isn't great. But I think with Onana, he's been terrible in the Champions League. That's a fact. Last year in Serie A, he was terrible, and he was amazing in the Champions League. And I think that there's a weird thing with Onana where I actually think, like, on the aggregate, if you look at stats, he will look pretty good on the whole, but he feels so wildly inconsistent where, let's say he's saving 2 goals worth of shots in a game, and then the next game he's giving up, a goal and a half worth of shots. And I think that might look good on an aggregate, but you just really don't want that from your keeper. I think you'd much rather have, someone like, say, Alisson, who's, 25% better than average every game, on and on and on, instead of Onana, who might win you a game, but then will also lose you a game. I think you don't want the keeper being your match decider every game, which it kind of seems like Onana currently is.